subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
All right, we're in the building. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the building. Round of applause to you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, I would like for you to give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me loud and clear, everybody. And if you can hear me loud and clear, give me a thumbs up. Not only do you give me a thumbs up, give me a retweet. Let everybody know that we're live right now. All right. Before we get started, let me shout out some of the regulars in the room, people who come in every day. We got Percy Earl, we got Hakeem, we got FBH Shuck, we have Fahima, we have little old me, Sweets, Maroc, we got Arian G, D Money, Randy Brown, Highland. We got Suntan Greek Immigrant in the building. We have Brother Ty Powell, Miss Trinity, Welsing, Sir Mike, Miss Brenda, Noel, Nikki the God, Soul Food, Grinds TV, elder sister Miss Empress out of Detroit, and Being Black is a Vibe. Much respect to you guys for coming in the room. A lot of stuff we're going to discuss. Sister Brooke, I see Sister Brooke down there. What's up, beloved? So a lot of stuff we're going to discuss about the Diddy case, and I'm still out here in Wyoming. I'm in a few places. I'm in like Wyoming, Idaho. I'm out here. I'm out here in the cut. It's beautiful out here though, and I am chilling. But boy, the Diddy case, the verdict went on. The verdict came in today. The verdict came in, and the verdict is basically everything that I told people yesterday. Y'all remember the broadcast I did last night? I told people, I said, it looks like they got him on something. They're going to probably get him on the prostitution charges. They're going to probably get him on that, and everything else they're not going to get him on because this isn't a Rico case. And sure enough, he was acquitted of the Rico, the racketeering and all of that nonsense. And they got him on the prostitution thing. And, even that is kind of janky itself, but I can understand why the jury had to go there because they're given instructions on what to rule a verdict on. And basically, the prostitution thing is usually for somebody who's sending somebody on the blade to go get some money or something. I've not seen a case where the trick got hit with a damn prostitution charge like that. Because Diddy was basically tricking. Not only was he tricking, he wasn't even really participating in anything with the people he was tricking with. He was getting dudes to smash these little old dick hungry ass chicks he was rocking with. And I'm glad the jury didn't see this as a trafficking case because it wasn't. These were consenting adults. These were consenting adults and they were not trafficked. When you say that, try to say that that's trafficking. And then you got some of these naysayers running around here. Oh God, this is why women don't want to come forward. No, this ain't. No, you got people out here who's being thrown in vans and sent across state lines to go do something strange for some change. Cassie and old girl begging to get peed on and asking when the next freak off is going to pop off. That ain't the same damn thing. All right, let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop that. And basically, in this case, they're not going to be able to seize his assets. See, that was the real play. The real play was for them to get that Rico. If they had gotten that Rico, they would have immediately seized all of Bad Boy's assets, all of the publishing. I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars, all the Ciroc stuff, the Sean John stuff, they were going to seize everything, ladies and gentlemen. This was an attempted money grab. And I'm glad a lot of people weren't going for the okie doke. A lot of people were not co-signing this nonsense. And also, let's be very real. We're not going to ignore the racist undertones of this. This had definite racist undertones. Let's be very, very real because they used that racist ass Mann Act. That Mann Act has always been a racist apparatus to target black men. We got to be very real about that. That Mann Act, which is called the White Slave Trafficking Act, they passed that in 1910. It's called the White Slave Trafficking Act, and it was basically rooted in the white supremacist fears about interracial relationships, white women being lured by these non-white men, particularly black men. And at the time, around 1910, the myth of the hypersexual, dangerous black man, that was a big social fear right after slavery. So the Mann Act was really a tool to criminalize any relationship that crossed racial lines, to be honest. And the person they got with at first was Jack Johnson. We all know the story of Jack Johnson. He was out there messing with them white women. He was beating up white men in the ring and smashing, beating up white coochie. And they had to do something. They said, we can't have this big black man beating up on us in the ring. And this is going all around the world. And then he's getting all this money, driving all of these cars and smashing white women. So they literally created that law for Jack Johnson and subsequently other black men too. That's what they got Chuck Berry with, the rock and roll legend. They got him on the Mann Act. R. Kelly, they hit R. Kelly with the Mann Act. That's what they got him in jail for. And Diddy. They even had Charlie Chaplin. They even hit him with the Mann Act. And they were upset with him because at the time, I think this was in 1944. Charlie Chaplin, for those who don't know, he's a legendary silent film actor, one of the first major film stars in Hollywood. But at the time in the 40s, he was really against the Nazis, and a lot of people thought he was Jewish. There was a rumor about him being Jewish. So, they were like, hey, we'll get on them too. We'll treat them like a Negro too. And also, Charlie Chaplin, his family is Romani. His mother's Romani. So, those are like the gypsies of Europe. So, that whole non-white gene in your bloodline, they're like, okay, we'll make you an honorary black too. We'll because you out here messing with these white women. So they put a Mann Act on Charlie Chaplin too. He beat that. But this just goes to show the racial undertones of that Mann Act. And the language of the law of the Mann Act is very vague by design. So it gives prosecutors the discretion to really target black men. Because listen, if we're gonna talk about somebody trafficking and sex parties, they never gone at no damn Hugh Hefner. He was infamous for that, and there's a bunch of stories coming out of the damn Playboy Mansion, horror stories, drugs. You want to talk about some damn drugs? Drugs, coercion, underage. You've been hearing rumors for years about the Hollywood Playboy Mansion and all of that. Ain't no Rico charges on him. You see? So the whole term in the Mann Act, they talk about transporting women across state lines for immoral purposes. That term is very, very vague and open to interpretation. And the flexibility that basically allowed authorities to selectively prosecute black men for consensual relationships or murky allegations, especially when the women were white or white adjacent. You understand that? It is white women or white adjacent women. And the spirit of that law has never been equally applied. It has never been equally applied. And the prosecutors, they bring that Mann Act to cases not necessarily because it's a strong legal path, but they know it carries a historic stigma that paints black men as predatory. And that Mann Act, it's been weaponized to basically reassert white control over black success. They usually go after successful black people with that, you know? And it punishes black men who have success that challenges white dominance. Like going back to Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, he made a lot of money the same way Floyd Mayweather made a lot of money. People were paying to see him get beaten. People were paying top dollar to see somebody put him in his place. They couldn't put him in his place in the ring. That's why he was making so much money. People were just desperate for him to get knocked out by a white man. Just like with George Floyd. They've been desperate to see George Floyd get beat by a white man or at least a non-black one, and it never happened. And I'm not George. What did I say, George Floyd? Floyd Mayweather. I said George Floyd. Floyd Mayweather. I'm sorry. Floyd Mayweather. That's who I mean. I'm sorry. But Floyd Mayweather, they would pay to see Floyd Mayweather get knocked out by some non-black person, and it never happened. And they're still salty about that to this day. Very proud of my good brother Floyd Mayweather. He knew how to work the game. And Jack Johnson, same thing. You got to understand, these people were so paranoid when Jack Johnson would beat white fighters. They told him not to smile if he knocks him out. If you knock him out, don't stand there smiling. Also, a lot of times well, I keep saying it, when Jack Johnson, a lot of times when Jack Johnson would win his fights, white people would go around lynching black people after the fights to get revenge. This is how much that messed with them psychologically. They would go out and lynch random black people because Jack Johnson beat the brakes off some white fighter in the ring. So you got to understand the spirit of this law. They had to get him with something. So we got to understand the continued use of that Mann Act. That reflects the systematic racism in federal law enforcement. They don't use it in white communities like that unless it's like really, really organized crime, but they don't use it. And it always resurfaces in high profile black scandals. And I'm glad it backfired this time. It did not win, it did not work this time. And they should have repealed that nonsense a long time ago. And we should continue to call that nonsense out. You understand? We got to continue to call that out. Now, with Diddy, those prostitution charges, they carry a maximum of 10 years each. So he would be facing a maximum of 20 years in prison. And I don't think he's going to get that. They tried to get him bail today. He's eligible for bail. That judge did not give him bail. I don't know why. Well, the judge said, well, the Diddy's lawyers didn't prove that Diddy's not a flight risk. That's horse crap. I think Diddy gave up his passport and everything. He's not going to use his jets and nothing like that. They know Diddy ain't about to run nowhere. Where's Diddy going to go? Diddy's one of the most famous black people in the world right now. Where is he going to go? You know what I'm saying? Diddy ain't about to run. This man ain't about to dip off over a couple of prostitution charges that hopefully his lawyer can get time served, because he's already been in jail long enough. But this judge, who's an East Indian tether, Aaron, what's his name? What's his name? Judge Aaron Subramanian, Subramanian, or something like this. It's one of them long names. Aaron Subramanian, something like that. But he's an East Indian dude. And we got to get into that. And another thing, the prosecutor in the case, the person who the U.S. attorney who brought this case on, that was Damian Williams. That's another tether. He's a Jamaican cat. His family's Jamaican immigrants. Have y'all noticed, family, a lot of the people who were upset with Diddy getting acquitted of the serious charges were a lot of far right, alt right types, not just regular right wingers, because there's some right wing whites who are pretty cool with the case. But I'm talking about the far right, alt right. They had a little issue with it, and non FBA melanated people. a lot of the melanated immigrants, they really had a problem with this. They've been complaining all day. And I pointed that out earlier. Somebody said, well, it's a lot of the feminists too. You got to understand, a lot of these melanated feminists, many of them are tethers. I want y'all to understand that part of the game too. Many of these melanated feminists are themselves tethers. Speaking of tethers, we got Bushmeat Barrister in here. Bushmeat, how do you feel about the Diddy case? He getting
Oh,
acquitted on the serious charges.
yeah. I mean, I think justice was served. I'm glad that Diddy went ahead and got acquitted from the most serious charges.
Really?
However, yeah, I'm proud. I'm happy for him. However, you are wrong about the individuals complaining the most, though. It's FBA women, primarily
No,
feminist FBA women,
no,
and you're lying, Tariq. That is the truth. FBA women have
no,
been
it's not.
complaining
No, it's
all over. A
okay.
lot of FBA women have contempt for black men, and they're secret feminists.
Okay, let me get this lion tether out of here. That ain't true. That ain't true. When you look at some of the comments of these quote feminists, you look into their profiles, there's a bunch of foreign flags. There's a bunch of foreign flags. I've been looking at other message boards of foreigners, these melanated immigrants and these melanated non-FBAs from Africa and the Caribbean. They've been the main ones like, shit, I wish that would have went to prison. They're the main ones salty. Let's be real. They've been the main ones salty about it. Why are they so salty about it? Why do they want to see Diddy go to jail so bad? Also, look at the case. Can we be real? All the people basically around this case, it was a bunch of tethers trying to take Diddy down. The judge, he's still on some bullshit. He's an East Indian tether. The U.S. attorney working the Rico case, Damian Williams, he's a Jamaican tether. Cassie is a tether. The other chick, Jane Doe, is another tether. These little Filipino tethers. Yeah? Can we go there? Notice that? Notice all these tethers trying to take the man down? Come on. Can we talk about it? Let's get Smack. Smack, I saw you giving some gestures there. Smack, you want to chime in? Come on, Smack, let's talk about it. Smack? What's up, brother? You were giving some gestures, thumbs down. What's going on?
Oh man, I mean, look, congratulations to Diddy, but the thumbs down are to you.
Really? Explain why.
Well, because I got a question. It's a little off topic. You can get back to your bullshit in a second, but I got a
Mm-hmm.
question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure you would agree with what I'm about to ask because I feel the same way too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you would say Joe Biden is a white supremacist, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree that Donald Trump is also too a white supremacist?
Well, the thing is, if we got two suspected white
Oh,
supremacists
here we
standing
go.
there, you know, 'cause we ain't doing that. If we got two white supremacists standing there, okay, so now which one is gonna hurt me the most? That's all I'm concerned with.
Oh, here we go. So it's the lesser of two evils talk. I thought we
Absolutely.
went on that.
Absolutely. The lesser of two
Right.
damn evils. If
Absolutely.
I got two white supremacists there, okay, who's gonna harm me the most? All right, and it's Joe Biden. Got it?
So again, would you say Donald Trump is a white supremacist?
I don't know and don't care at this point. He's cleaning up a lot of bullshit, and I ain't got a problem with it. He's cleaning up a lot of bullshit, so I'm good.
So in your mind, Donald Trump is not a white
I
supremacist.
don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit.
I
So
don't.
there's no yes,
I
no,
don't.
there's no no.
I don't care. Just like with Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson, yeah, he was a white supremacist. He said a whole
We're
bunch of,
not we're not talking about Lyndon B.
but
Johnson.
I am. And let me slow you down. I'm talking about him. Lyndon B. Johnson, they have him on tape yelling the N-word and calling Dr. King an N-word and the whole shebang. But it was pressure from the black grassroots that got him to pass them civil rights bills. And that was historic. You understand? So my thing is, okay, is all of these people got white supremacist tendencies. I'm not going to sit here and just pick out the damn white supremacists. Okay, which one of you guys are going to harm me the most or harm me the less? That's my thing. So why are you asking me about Trump and Biden? Are you one of these Democrat shills?
No, I didn't vote for either one of them, and I never
Then why are
would.
you asking me about some political candidates then? If you didn't vote for either
Because
one of them,
because I know for a fact that you T and that bastard TBA are bought and paid for by the Republican Party.
prove it. Okay, prove it. You know for a fact, prove that. What's the proof?
You prove it every time you talk about these
That's
people. You
not
won't
proof.
even admit that he's a
That's
white
not proof.
supremacist.
That's not
You
proof.
can't talk
That's
against Daddy.
that's not proof. You're being a lying tether. Now you're showing that you're a lying tether. You said you know for a fact. I asked for proof, and you say you be talking about it. So now you've proven you're a lying tether, and that's why we
No,
delineated from you.
and we need to delineate from you. I'm a foundational Black American. Two
No,
things.
you're not. I don't believe that. You're the way you're lying. If you lie about that, you'll lie about your lineage. I don't believe you. I
You're
don't believe you.
lost. You're lost.
If you
That's
lie
sad.
about that, if you said you just sat up here and said you know for a fact that we're bought and paid for by the Republicans, that's a bald-faced lie. So if you lie about that, you'll lie about your lineage. You're a
I do
musty
know that
tether.
for a fact. You don't know.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because that it ain't true, and you can't prove it.
You say the same thing about Roland
It
all the
ain't
time.
true, and you well, Roland is documented. There's a check stub with his name on it. What you mean? It's
Right.
documented. That's
Right.
not conjecture. There's a check stub of $300,000 that they gave Roland. That's documented that they had to write down and bring forth. You ain't nobody gave me no damn money. I ain't bought and paid for by no damn body, and you can't prove it.
You're a
All
bold-faced.
you're gonna sit here and do is lie like a tether. You're a lying tether. You've already established yourself as a liar. So everything else you say is going to be a lie too.
And you're a
So
lying.
no, that's you projecting, sir, because your pussy is wide open and whistling right now. I hear the lisp in your voice. That's why you get mad and sassy. Listen to you. That's why you mad, sassy, and lying. And I got you out your body right now. There you go. Now get your whistling bussy up out of here. All right. Little old sassy thing. You mad because them LGBT rights didn't come through no more. You mad because Trump is overturning some of your transgender medicine. Now your bussy is turning back into a pumpkin. You send a fella. All right. Mad punk. Don't get mad at me because you at the pride parade as the mascot and some of your trans rights are getting rolled back. Don't get mad at me. Yeah, y'all had this if y'all had bought and paid for by Trump and them. Shut up, punk. Uh, your ass was Jane Doe in the Diddy case. You were Jane Doe. You were James Doe. Come on, they had they swab you for baby oil in the Diddy case. Little old sassy thing. All right. But speaking of tethers like this is what I'm saying. These little old passive aggressive tethers, and then watch when they try to. That's another thing. These tethers be trying to claim that they're FBA now. If y'all notice that, these tethers be trying to claim our lineage, lying like a mug. It's nothing for them to lie. It's nothing for them to lie. But why do these tethers have such an issue with the Diddy case and Diddy getting acquitted of those serious charges? Why do they have such an issue with that? See, the thing is, Diddy, good, bad, right, or wrong, whether you like him, dislike him, he does represent foundational Black American wealth and autonomy. He represents an FBA billionaire who didn't go through immigrant channels, or he didn't, he did some great business deals. And that contradicts the whole immigrant success narrative that they come over here and do much better than everybody. Because there is no African or Caribbean mogul like a Diddy. You understand? So that breeds a lot of resentment towards foundational Black American cultural dominance. See, a lot of the tether class, they benefit from foundational Black American culture, but they simultaneously resent us for owning and organizing the culture. So them seeing Diddy possibly fall, that would have symbolically chipped away at the foundational Black American cultural stronghold that many of these tethers feel excluded from. even though they try to act like us and use our aesthetics and our vibes. Because see, the thing is, they've internalized a whole bunch of anti-blackness and they try to frame it as morality. Like when accusations of sex or moral deviance emerge, many of these tethers, they'll try to jump up here and act on some self-righteous shit when you got all types of trafficking in your damn village that you fled from. And then they want to point the finger at us. See, they're like Bushmeat, Barrister, and all those people. Okay, we don't take no criticism from them. And a lot of these people, they have a lot of jealousy towards foundational Black American exceptionalism. Yeah, while immigrants, they can rise up in America, but many of them, let's be real, they don't reach no iconic global celebrity status like foundational Black Americans do. Can we be real? I mean, let's be real. Can we name them? Can we name some of the people who are non-FBAs who reach over here, who come over here and reach that international level of stardom and cultural relevance? Huh? Can we name some? Who?
I can dig it. I'm on my way.
Where you going, Rootwork Jones?
There's some musty suckers on the streets. I got to go handle that. I got to split, baby. Can you dig it?
When you need to clean the stank off the streets, you don't call your mama. You call Rootwork Jones. Rootwork Jones is a stone cold dude that keeps the stanky suckers shaking in their boots.
Listen up, chumps. I'm looking for Dolomus. Can you dig it?
Rootwork Jones is getting down to the nitty-gritty, taking on the mustiest sucker in the city.
Dolomust is my name, and staying good and musty is my game. Where is Rootwork Jones?
This is a super soul brother getting rid of the stank. And you can for sure take that to the bank.
Take that, you musty jive turkeys.
When Rootwork Jones is not dealing with drama, he finds time to deal with foxy mamas.
Why don't you come on over here and give me some of that root work, sugar?
Rootwork Jones. He's bold. He's bad. And he's keeping the suckers musty mad. Rootwork Jones coming to a theater near you. Go to rootworkstyle.com.